Hello, in this video I'm going to be creating a customer quotation. This video is suitable for Redthorn SP and the full system. There's a couple of bits of functionality that are only available in the full system, but I'll cover those during the video. It's available in the estimate quotation workflow, which sits within quotation and sales on both systems. So I've got a part to quote. Now, if I'm running the full system and are running quotation inquiries, I could create the quote from the inquiry, which will be covered in that video, but I'm going to raise a quote from fresh here. So I'm going to create a new quote and I'll just go through the process of doing it. Likewise, I could be bringing in a free type quote, which is an additional functionality which will be covered in the free type quote video. So inquiry reference, video quote, customer, JCB. It's going to pull through the name, which will come from the customer database, the default main contact. And then I can pull in a part. So I'm going to do one of these sub-assemblies that I've been using so far. Now it's going to allow me to choose a quantity, and it will update the price based on the quantity I've put in. Now this price could come from a number of places. It could come from some customer specific pricing that I've allocated to this part, which in this case it has. It could come from me looking at the estimating batches and selecting one of those, or I could look at the part pricing that's shown below, which is allocated to the part in the part product maintenance. So I could say, right, actually the part product standard price is 169, so I'm going to overwrite that and write 169. The 165 came because I've got customer specific pricing, which it'll cover in that video. If I look at the estimated batches for this price, you can see the estimating batches suggesting that for a 10 off I should be charging 164. So there's 164 there. And it's gone back, so it's now automatically gone back to its original. So I'm going to put that to 164. So that quote, that's one line quotation, and then I can just do the same for another line. So D3, I'm going to quote, which one did I do? Did the 5, so I'll quote a 6 as well. And I'm going to say that's a 2 off. And this one hasn't been estimated and it hasn't got customer specific numbers, so it hasn't allocated a cost. So now I'm going to choose to just go with 169 from below. So there we have it. I have a quote set up with 2 lines, and I'm going to save that and print that quote. So there we go, quote number 5279, and I can go to quotation print and print quotation here. So I can choose either of these items to print my quotation. I'll go onto the menu. There's only one in the queue, so it's just gone away and found it. Had there been multiple ones in the queue, I'd have just double clicked on quotation number and printed it. And now I'm just going to print my quotation. So there we go, quotation printed. Now if I go back into quotation and want to amend a quote, I can pull up the same quotation and I might say, right, this is cancelled and I've changed this to a 3. Change this to a 3, and I've changed the price to 170. So I can now save that, and it will now, so I've made some changes to this quote, and it will now save those as a revision of the quotation. Quote number, and now it will be back in the print queue. This time I'll go to it from here, print, and I will show that as a revision to, and I'll say item cancelled, and then the new value for the new item. So you can see you can amend quotations. Now the last thing I'm just going to demonstrate is some of these items along the bottom. So estimated batches are used, quotation print is the link to the print. Quick quote will take me through the process of creating a part in order that I can quote for it However, free type quote does allow you to quote for parts that you haven't already put into the parts database and created bills of materials or routings for. View quotations for quote inquiry will let you look for quotes based on inquiry references that come in if you have the full system. So here, if I wrote test there, it will return me everything where the test is in inquiry, and I could bring in one of those quotes, and it's actually telling me someone else quoted this, so the document changes will be assigned to me from John. And then finally, view quotations for CPN or customer part number allows me to look specific to a customer or a part number, and so customer part number is the third one down, or an inquiry reference. So here I'm going to double click, go JCB, tab, and it's going to find me all the quotes for JCB. Now this is very useful if you want to look through all your quotes for a customer and cancel all items that are over a certain date, or potentially update and cancel everything as lost. Sorry, confirm lost for a number of quotes. This is very useful to do for all over a certain date. So 90 days, some people will like to mark all those quotes as lost. So you can use this as a way of managing your quote control. That's search quotations. So I'll come out of that. So in summary, creating and amending quotes, multiple line quotes. You can change the status, change the quantity, log as new revisions. You can refer back to quote inquiries on the main system, and you can view quotations by CPN, customer part number, or by customer as I did. You can also link through and go through to the internal reference or the parts maintenance screen of this button.